Oh, morning time. Better get up. Oh man, what time is it? Oh man, I'm kind of running late. Oh, they said it was supposed to snow last night. I wonder if it snowed. Oh, it sure did. Well, look at that. Wow, we must have a couple inches out there. Ooh, it looks like ice. Man, I wonder if school's called off or not. I better check my phone. Oh boy. Let's see what we got going on. Oh dear. Spalding campus closed today. Ah, yikes. That's okay. We don't need to panic, right? Alright, let's get going here. Don't worry about it. We'll put on a pot of chili. Okay. Make ourselves a cup of tea, or coffee if you prefer. And you don't need to fear, right? Because you planned ahead. Okay, don't worry about it at all. You know the vision of professors working in their flannel pajamas with their cozy slippers on? Yeah, look, their little ears move when you walk. I don't need to panic because I have an online portion of my class. Sorry, okay. So, it's okay, right? It's the vision of working in your pajamas. When you have a snow day, you don't have to panic if you have an online portion of your class already set up. So I'm running a face-to-face class. I don't even have to have an online portion, but I've drunk the water, right? I understand now that having an online portion of the class contributes to students' learning. I'm seeing hybrid as the way to go in the future, right? And so if I believe that having an online portion of my class enhances student learning, why would I not do it, even in a true face-to-face class? So you can bet I've got an online portion set up of every part of my class. It's really helpful on days like today, snow days, because my first thought is, what can I do for my students? So, first I check, what were we going to cover today? Oh, looks like Vygotsky, early childhood. Oh my gosh, this is a class that only meets once a week. We have a snow day. They're not going to get anything about early childhood or Vygotsky. For the rest of their lives, they're going to have a giant gap from ages 2 to 6, and they're going to know nothing about 2 to 6-year-olds? I don't have to fear, though, right? Because I have an online portion of the class. And even though we were going to cover all that information in one day, I can still get that information to the students in another way. So my first thought is, what's the community of inquiry model, okay? It doesn't matter if you know it or not, I'll just tell it to you. Basically, learners interact in an online situation with 3 different things. They interact with the content material, the professor, and each other. And that's what we really want them to do to establish a good learning environment, okay? So, how can I meet those 3 things on a snow day, right? So my first things I'm going to do, I'm going to quickly email the students to say, hey, we have a snow day today, I'm sure you've heard. I'm going to be posting a podcast in a little while about blah, blah, blah. It'll be this and this. I'm also going to be posting da-da-da, da-da-da. And I'm encouraging you to da-da-da, da-da-da. So whatever. But I'm going to make a connection with them. I'll be around for virtual office hours from here to here. So I'm going to make sure they can access me if they have questions. This is what to expect for the day. And they can plan their days accordingly. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to zoop out a quick podcast, right? It's not really that hard. Really. It doesn't take that long. It takes a little while to download it to YouTube. I get that. It takes a little while to get it all worked out and get it on Moodle. But really, it's worth your time because it's really about the students. So I create maybe a 15, 20-minute podcast. It doesn't have to be 2 hours. Really, who wants to listen to somebody for 2 hours? I don't want to listen to somebody for 2 hours. I don't want to listen to myself for 2 hours. So maybe a 15, 20-minute podcast, which, by the way, the research shows that students want them to be not just informational but entertaining. I'm sorry. You can say what you want, but don't begrudge students because we're the same way as faculty. We want the same thing. We want it to be interesting, right? Okay. So, number 1, they get to interact with me because I made the email. Number 2, they get to interact with the content material because I made the video for them. They need to engage with each other, right? So I'm going to get a discussion group started. So we're going to talk, the best ways to get a discussion group going, first of all, state something really controversial and difficult. So, for example, great TED Talk about the mysterious workings of the adolescent brain. Yeah, we could talk about that. We could get something really controversial going about that topic, right? And we could talk about, is it hormones or is it neurology, or why do adolescents get so much in a flustery fluff from their ages of 12 to 18? And you could really talk to me about that because I have a bunch of kids in that area and we would have a long conversation. But the research shows about that discussion group, you want to take some controversial positions. You want to get something interesting and relevant. You also need to check back in. It's not just enough to post once and then leave it alone and that the students fend for themselves. You want to check back in. Good post, but I really like the comments you made about blah, 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 blah. And you really want to encourage them, and you want to reward, of course, critical thinking and good critical thinking. So all those things together mean that a snow day doesn't have to be a lost day. You can make up time and have students interact with the course material and you and each other in the context of a class. What I really envision, and I'll close on this note, and you'll probably be glad I did, is because what I really envision is a system where instead of thinking about a class as an online class or a hybrid class or a face-to-face class, which are really rigid categories, what I envision is that we're fluid about it. That there's no online teachers or online classes or face-to-face teachers or face-to-face classes. That we all have skills in all of those things. Think about it. Online is just another method. It's not a whole, it's just a delivery method, okay? It's like a chalkboard, it's like a whiteboard, it's like anything else. It's just a new way of delivering it's PowerPoint, okay, whatever. It's just a new way to deliver information. Why would you not embrace a new way to deliver information, especially when the research shows it's effective? So what I really envision is this fluid system where any class or any person can be 80-20 one week, 60-40 the next week, 100-0 the next week, 50-50 the next week, as far as the split between online and face-to-face, depending on the needs of the students, the material that's being covered, and then random things like the weather and whatever else. So I'll leave you with this. Me and the Happy Bunnies say, have a great day, happy learning, and a snow day doesn't have to be a lost day. Thanks.